Welcome, boys, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the main reason why you should not be dating women that are in their late 30s, 40s, right? Today's topic, right, I am going to focus on an email that a subscriber sent to me, right? My email is in the description box. If you guys have any questions, send them there, right? I'll be happy to get back to you. He sent me this email, and it was a very important email because when I read it, I felt that this email is what a lot of guys are going through. And I really appreciated something that the guy did. He told me, look, why don't you make a video about this? I feel like your subscribers will get a lot of value from it. And that is what we're doing today, right? This is going to show you why it's very important. If you are a man that wants the best value for his time, especially when choosing in mate selection, or you want to deal with a woman long term, you shouldn't be dealing with a woman that has hit the wall or is past the wall or is way past the wall, right? When she's in her late 30s and in her 40s, right? Because the likelihood that she's going to have a lot of baggage is pretty high. And in today's video, you are going to see why that is. I'm going to read his email and we're going to break it down. First of all, if you haven't already, guys, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, okay, and turn on post notification. If you could also hit this video with a like, it really helps the channel grow, okay? So for the sake of privacy, I'm going to change his name and his girlfriend's name, right? So his name, right, that I'm changing it to is going to be Steve, and the girl's name, for the sake of this video, we're going to say Sarah, right? So Steve writes to me, Sarah, my girlfriend, is 49 years old. Already there, already there is a problem, right? There is a problem, right? But he continues, I am within the same age range, right? Never married. Here's the thing. A lot of guys ask me, hey, but I am 40. Shouldn't I date a woman that is in her 40s? Trust me, it's totally different, right? The less headache that you will have is if you date a woman that is way younger than you, a woman that is in her max early 30s, 30 max, 31 maybe, right? But you want to date women that are in their 20s, mid 20s, right? If you're in your 40s, you want to date women that are in their 20s, 25, 26, 27, 28, right? These women are still going to have problems, but they're not going to have the same kind of problems that a woman in her late 30s and early 40s, even in this case, late 40s is going to have, right? As you will see. He continues, I am healthy, fit, attractive, and gainfully employed, right? So this guy understands what his value is, right? He understands that he's attractive. He understands that he's healthy. He understands that he's gainfully employed, so he's able to pay his bill and he understands his worth. But when it comes to women, he truly doesn't understand because he should not be dealing with a 49-year-old woman, right? I am a realistic, pragmatic man, and for the most part, I lead my relationship as you will determine in this email. Guys, I have to give you guys a heads up. This email is pretty detailed, so it's gonna be a lot of reading, right? So he says, I lead my relationship as you will determine in this email. Sarah and I have been in a serious relationship for over a year. That's key. Over a year, right? Despite having surprised me with the pre-existing conflict that crossed into my path during our relationship. Guys, that word pre-existing conflict is very important because it is an issue that is ongoing. Pre-existing means that they're dealing with the issue and it's from the past, but he's still dealing with it, right? A pre-existing conflict that crossed into my path during our relationship. One of those conflicts creating a crisis in our relationship is her unresolved divorce. Unresolved divorce. So the woman that he's in a relationship for over a year now is technically married, right? Technically married because it's unresolved, right? Sarah is married in California with a spouse who lives in Mexico with another domestic partner, right? Which is a woman. When I met Sarah, Sarah did not tell me that she had been involved with another man while married before she met me. So basically, Sarah, the girl that he's in a relationship with, the 49-year-old, the reason her marriage dissolved was because she cheated on the guy. Right? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I will tell you this. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Right? Once you get into a relationship and you find out that a woman cheated on her past relationship, the likelihood that she's going to cheat on you, pretty high. Okay? Pretty high. Unless she has done some work, unless she has gone to therapy to figure out the reasons why she cheats on her relationships, then you might want to stay away from women like that. But let's continue. According to her, she was seeing another guy having infrequent sex hookups with him. And from that, I gathered on early on, Sarah had a list of friends, orbiters on her phone that she was in constant communication with, along with her husband, who I did not know that she was still in regular communication with, although she alleged that she was separated at the time our dating had begun. So basically, she was lying to him in the beginning. On our first week, Sarah shared that she had not been sexually active in 2 years since she had last seen her husband. After a couple of dates, we were seeing one another intimately and getting along extremely well. So basically, in the beginning, there was this kind of fairy tale, right? And as we'll see later on, things didn't kind of match up. You know, she told him she hadn't had sex with him, anyone, for 2 years before they met together. One thing that you have to understand, guys, is that women will always try to sell you purity. Women will always try to sell you purity. That's why I always say, never believe what a woman says. Always, always believe in an action. And this goes with anybody. Never believe what anyone tells you. Believe in their actions. He continues, I am a very intuitive person. So when I started to question her about dating behavior and experiences, Sarah confided that she was seeing a younger man as an occasional lover under her husband and her family knowledge. Basically, the same thing. She was cheating on her husband. Sarah told me that the separation for years left her to give in to another man's will who she worked with. Okay, so basically she was having sex with somebody at her job. She told me that she had to break it off with this guy. She told me that he was out of the picture and all the men in her life were going to be dropped from her life because she had chosen him, as in Steve, as the man she wanted to be with. Later that weekend, when we were on a date, I discovered Sarah was planning to make a surprise visit to Mexico for her son's wedding. Well, she could be going to see her son, but she could be also going to see her ex-husband. We don't know as of this point in the email. That night, when we were having a movie together, well, that's what he writes. That night, we were having a movie together when Sarah jumped out of the bed like a gazelle to get a call on her cell phone. When she returned to my room, Sarah told me her son had an impromptu decision to get married in Mexico. I later confirmed Sarah went to her son's wedding, but had to stay over and sex with her husband. Crazy. When Sarah returned from the wedding, she denied everything about having sex with her separated husband. Sarah misdirected my attention by informing me that she was divorcing her husband because she found his room with all her lover's boxes of shoes, sleeping garments, and personal effects like makeup. She told me that her son and daughter had witnessed this living woman sleep in the same bed with her husband and walk around the house in the undergarment while her sons visited him. Weeks later into our dating, Sarah became emotional and admitted sleeping and having sex with her husband. Sarah's lover had resurfaced. Sarah's lover started calling and texting, asking to see her. I knew Sarah had F-buddies, flaming trails. I investigated and learned she was still intact with her husband too, deceiving him while seeing me. So technically, she was actually married to this guy, right? The kids even thought they were still married, right? Sarah's kids thought that they were married, right? And she was there lying to Steve, saying that, you know what, I am getting a divorce. Well, while she was not really getting a divorce, right? She was still very married to the guy, but the guy was in Mexico, and maybe it was just there was a reason why he was in Mexico and he couldn't come to the U.S., right? Maybe there was a reason for that, right? We don't know, right? But either way, Sarah was in L.A. doing what she got to do. She was getting pumped and dumped, living her life. And once in a while, she would go back to Mexico to see her husband. Right? Now, but her husband was betraying her big time. Well, they were both betraying each other, my guy. Sarah was even funding her husband's second wife's domestic partner. Right? His second wife, right? The domestic partner. Relationship by, sending the husband personal entertainment and health, sending her husband funds for entertainment and medical fees. My situation was spiraling out of control with Sarah. Neither one of us wanted to sever ties because I believed that what we felt for each other was unique, not lust. That serendipity found the relationship. Oh, her drama, her promiscuous nature, and skeleton in the closet was causing me a lot of uncertainty, insecurity, and personal grief. Guys, let me tell you this again. Pay attention to the woman's actions, right? Guys, when the older a woman gets, she's going to have baggages like this. She's going to consistently have things like this, right? I promise you, I have never dated a woman in her late 30s that didn't have baggages, that didn't have just such red flags. Women that are in their late 30s are so set in their ways that it's hard. Like, think of yourself now as, let's say you're in your 40s or late 30s. You are so set in your ways that it's going to be hard to break those the way you think, right? That's why you want to date a woman that is younger, so that you can mold her into the kind of girlfriend or wife that you want, right? So, anyways, Sarah and I stayed together and eventually discussed plans to live and have children. Sarah could not get pregnant after many attempts. We considered adopting or looking for alternative methods. There was a lot of sexual chemistry between us. Therefore, we had sex 3 to 5 times a week. Sarah stopped talking about her children after having a tumor removed from her cervix. Sorry to hear that. And a surgery for an inflamed appendix. Sarah told me that she wanted to have my baby, but felt she was no longer able due to her age and condition. Again, she felt she was no longer able to have kids due to her age and condition. I keep telling you guys, if you want to have kids, you are going to have to date a younger woman. Straight up. He's having problem having kids with this woman because of her age. And I get comments. When my last video, I have people telling me, "Oh, I know this one lady by the freaking river that had a kid." I'm like, look, I'm just talking facts. In general, the older a woman gets, the less likely she's gonna be able to, bring a child to term healthily, right? So Sarah had done absolutely nothing to get a divorce, despite my generous offer to pay half her divorce, providing divorce lawyer leads and information. So here's the thing, right? And honestly, it goes on and on. It goes on with him doing everything in his power. He's doing the chores in the house. He's doing everything in his power to show Sarah that he is the man for her. But Sarah is so connected to her past life and is such a promiscuous person that she is unwilling to change who she is as a person for Steve. Right? Again, it's because of how old she is. She is set in her ways. Right? So guys, I'm gonna go to the end because that's basically he just details more stuff that that is going on with him and her, right? My hour long, and so he finally decides to give her an ultimatum. My hour long and detailed discussion with her basically led me to conclude that Sarah is beyond stubborn and has her own plans to live her life with me on her own terms. Basically, she was not willing to change for him, right? After all of that, he was still willing to give her a chance. After finding out that she had been lying to him, after finding out that she actually cheated on her husband and she has a propensity to cheat and keep seeing all these different guys, that she was very promiscuous even into her late into her late age, right? He even offered to pay for her divorce from her husband and she said no. Here's the thing, guys. A guy like this, and in the beginning he tells us he's an attractive, healthy, makes good money, right? And I see this a lot with guys, and we need to start learning. Guys, once you're dating a woman and you're seeing so many red flags like this, when once he told me that the woman was 49, it was a wrap for me there. I didn't even need to read the whole email. I could have just told him, yo, you know what? I honestly didn't read your whole email. I read the first line and that's it, right? But I decided to read the whole email because I already kind of figured out what was going to be in the email. And I'm not saying this to say women that are 49 are bad people or women that are 39 are bad people. No, I am saying as a man that has his life together, right, that you are chasing excellence, you need to pick the best option for yourself. When you're dealing with a woman and you see all these red flags, you got to let her go, right? At this point, when she's not willing to divorce the husband, when you find out that she has a propensity to keep cheating on the guys that she's with, she has a propensity to keep jumping from digging stick to digging stick, that she's still trying to ride the cock carousel, you have to let that woman go, because as a man that is around that age, never married, right, you are inviting so much drama into your life that you don't need. Why this video is so important is that you watching me right now might be in a similar situation. You might be dealing with a woman that just has so much baggage, but you feel like this woman is, it's serendipity, like he says, it's magical. No, to you it seems magical, but to the outside world and the way it actually is in reality is that you are basically suffering. And you are suffering from a scarcity mindset because there's so much better quality women out there that you don't have to deal with a woman that has so much red flag, that has so much baggage, right? Trust me, guys, you are put on this earth for your own happiness, not to make other people happy, right? And if you are inviting that much baggage into your life, it's unfair to you because remember, if you're working on yourself, chasing excellence, trying to be the best version of yourself, why would you choose to be with somebody that is not even half of what you are trying to be? You want a woman to be a complement and an addition to your life, not a subtraction, not somebody that's going to suck and sap your energy. When I was reading that email, does it seem like that woman was an addition to that man's life? Or did it seem like that woman was actually a distraction from what he needs to do in his life? It seemed like he wanted to have kids, right? It seemed like he wanted to have kids, but this woman was just in the way. And that is his fault, right? That is his fault. He chose, out of all the women that he could have dated especially in California, he chose that woman. And that is what most guys do, right? Because most guys suffer from a scarcity mindset. They suffer from a scarcity mindset instead of actually sitting down and saying, what do I want in a woman? What do I want in a woman? Is this woman that I am dating right now, does she fulfill the things that I want in a woman? No? Okay. Then you need to go on and move on and go see other women. Right? That's why I preach you need to get better with women. You need to get better at approaching women. You need to get better at dating multiple women. It's not to increase your notch count, right? It has nothing to do with your notch count. It has everything to do with choosing the best possible partner or mate, whatever you want, right? Choosing the best best candidate to be your partner, right? Not just choosing a woman because she was the one that showed up, right? Guys, that is the video for today. If you haven't already, guys, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. Again, like I said, if you guys have any questions or you have anything, my email is in the description box below. With that, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.